the best fans in baseball are still in St. Louis. The difference is that they are not showing up to Busch in droves the way they used to. They would flood to Busch, whether it was McGuire, Pujols, whether it was Red, whatever the case may be. Then the Cardinals stopped winning games. And it used to be that the Cardinals had the best fans and they would draw whether the team was winning or whether the team was losing. But then the Cardinals all of a sudden were not winning as many games. And you have terrible recency bias. The Cardinals went through a bunch of years with two of the best players in baseball recently, in Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. And they still were not able to truly be superior. The thing about the St. Louis Cardinals is they have gone out of their way, and it's a father-son team, Bill DeWitt and Bill DeWitt Jr., Bill DeWitt III, tons of Bill DeWitts. Remember, Bill DeWitt, the older Bill DeWitt, is the one who was bidding for the Orioles back in 1991 when Angelos got the team, ended up getting the Cardinals, becoming the majority owner. He's been there, had a hugely successful run. They've won World Series, just a very quality organization, quality ballpark. They tried to build an area around Busch that is doing better now. But the thing is that fan bases today, for whatever the reason, and I take slight umbrage, not total, but slight, when you don't have sustained winning, I don't care if you're the Yankees, if you're the Cubs, if you're the Red Sox, if you are the Dodgers, if you are the Cardinals. Fans tend to come out when their team wins versus not. But the thing is, the Cardinals always spent money, and it used to be that they were among the big spenders in baseball. But then all of a sudden, the Cardinals realized that they were being outspent by certain teams in a way that they could never catch up because their market would not permit it, even with the sold-out fan base, even with the corporate support that they have. Because the elasticity of demand, ticket pricing, the way you measure the ability to raise local revenue, it is market specific. It's why part of the collective bargaining agreement and part of revenue sharing assigns market scores. What kind of market are you? St. Louis is not a big market. It's not a large market, but they always performed extremely well, and it enabled them to have higher payrolls. But then they simply fell behind. Not every decision worked, which hurts if you don't have money to cover up your mistakes. And all of a sudden, they were not even able to compete in a division that most people consider was weak. And this coincides with the Brewers and their small market and medium payroll, along with Christian Yelich and David Stearns and then Matt Arnold, have found a way to be extremely successful year over year over year over year. Having made the playoffs, I want to say Milwaukee's been there maybe 5 of the past 6 years. So then fans stop coming. Then you have the regional sports networks collapsing, and the Cardinals had an above average deal that was not really a market slotted deal, but that has gone down. Their deal got ripped up. So you may say that the RSN had gotten out of bankruptcy, which they did, but the deals they have with the existing teams are all down from what they were. Everyone but the Dodgers has had their broadcast revenue decrease. The Cardinals run a responsible team. They're not going to lose money operationally, so they've cut the payroll. But now they've got a problem because they didn't win with Goldschmidt and Arenado. They're both going to be gone, though. Arenado, I'm totally blanking, Coca. Please get into my ear right now. What became of Arenado? Did he sign? Goldschmidt signed with the Yankees, and is Arenado still on the Cardinals, not having been traded yet? Because he didn't waive it, so he is still going to return with the Cardinals, but the rumors have been that he's going to be traded, and they're just trying to figure out whether or not he would waive his no-trade clause, and if so, to where. Because they're realizing that Arenado and his salary, based on the team they have, it's not going to be good enough to compete in the Central by any stretch this season, so why not be responsible? And it's not that no free agents would go there, because if the Cardinals offered at or above market value to a free agent, of course a free agent would go there. I'm not exactly sure, but you think Jurickson Profire said to himself, "Oh, I want to be in Atlanta." No, Atlanta said, "Hey, here's 42 million over 3 years," and he said, "Oh, okay, I'll be in Atlanta." Players don't have a preference. It's not like that. Now, you could say Sasaki had a preference to go to the Dodgers. Ohtani had a preference to go to the Dodgers. They were never going to go to Toronto. Alonso may go to Toronto. They had to overpay Santander to go to Toronto with a ton of deferred money. You could say all those things, but the truth of the matter is that from a market standpoint, the only player I came across who didn't want to go to St. Louis was just Giancarlo Stanton. And he had his own reasons because he wanted to force the Marlins' hand to get him to either New York or LA. That's the respect that he got with the no trade clause. Players love playing in St. Louis. They love the fans in St. Louis. They love the life in St. Louis. Who wouldn't want to be with people who are currently living in St. Louis? Anybody with their right mind. So to finish your question, don't worry. Your window is closed for now. You have smart people at that organization, though there will be some changes, and their window will open again. The Cardinals, unfortunately, are much like 27 other teams in baseball, where they used to be part of the few. Now they're part of the many, where their smarts are going to absolutely be the differentiating factor, but you're going to have opened and closed windows of being competitive, and you're entering into a closed window. That's it.